Welcome to Deanna Reads. My name is Deanna and I read. So the book I'm going to review for you today is called India Black and it is by Carol K. Carr. The cover. Right. I will just start by reading the summary for you. In the winter of 1876, the beautiful young Madame, India Black, is occupied with her usual task, keeping her tarts in line, avoiding the police, and tolerating the clergyman bent on converting her girls. But when Sir Archibald Latham of the War Office dies from a heart attack while visiting her brothel, India is unexpectedly thrust into a deadly game between Russian and British agents who are seeking the military secrets Latham carried. French, the handsome British spy, discovers India disposing of Latham's body and blackmails her into recovering the missing documents. Their quest takes them from the Russian embassy to Claridge's Hotel, from London to the English coast, all the while dodging Russians intent to do them harm. But it is their own tempestuous relationship they will have to weather as India and French attempt to resist the mutual attraction between them, an attraction that can prove as deadly as the conspiracy entangling them. I didn't read the back of this before I read it, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have been a little dissuaded because the relationship between India and French, it's not as outright as the back of the book makes it seem. Like it's kind of about romance and stuff, and it really isn't because it's mostly about India. She's a really interesting character. I really love her voice in this book. It's very I don't know. It's different than a lot of these kind of books, and I do like that it's not necessarily a murder mystery like a lot of the books like this that I read. It's more about the espionage and all that. But French and India's relationship, isn't at the center of it, and I'm glad that it's not. It's an interesting little subplot, French and her interaction with each other, and I'm sure it'll develop more in future books. I'm sure it'll develop more, but I like that it's not really the main focus of this book. So this is Carol K. Carr's first book. She is a debut author, and her second book in the India Black series is going to be India and the Widow of Windsor. I believe that's what it's called, and I believe it comes out this year, in the fall. So I am excited to read this. I'm tripping up over my words. This was a very good book. I would definitely recommend it to anybody that is into historical novels, mystery novels, that kind of thing. It's a smart book. India Black, she is Madame of a brothel. She started out as a prostitute, but she's very street smart, and she's educated herself because, as she says in the book, a lot of her clientele when you know Shakespeare, different kinds of cultural things, because her brothel is aimed towards the higher classes, and which is a little obvious since this director of the War Office was one of the clients at the brothel, and he died there. He was a regular customer, and that's how a lot of her customers are usually people like that, or the sons of lords and stuff like that. She's very smart. She's very different from a lot of heroines in these kind of books. She doesn't throw caution to the wind. She's very cautious about the things she does. She's grown up on the streets, so she carries around a bulldog. I've never heard of this kind of gun. It's some kind of, I don't know, it's a bulldog gun that she's learned to shoot. She knows how to take care of herself, and she doesn't take the chances that a lot of these kind of heroines do that make you cringe. She takes chances, but they're they're chances that she's willing to take. I like that she is a prostitute. She's not anymore. She's obviously, she now runs a brothel and she's not a prostitute anymore, but I do like that she is from this lower class rather than being a recently widowed upper class lady, which is some books that I've read lately, where there's the upper class lady and the love interest he's not lower class, but he's not lorded, is usually how these things go. But this, I don't think French, he's not lorded, he's just Mr. French, but he is from the upper cut of society, and India is not. So that's an interesting little twist in the norm, and also that it's not about the murder, perhaps, because there is a murder. It's, as I said, about the intrigue. So it is a very smart book, and I highly recommend it. I would definitely buy this. In my new rating system, I would buy this book. Thank you for watching. Keep reading.